Hello and welcome to Barb Talks. Today I'm going to answer a question that one of you sent to me, and it was sent by @FrankieC, and they said this was concerning the sewing machine video. And Frankie C said, hello, yes, they stopped making this sewing machine years ago, but you can still find a lot of them in good condition and spare parts. Please kindly film how to thread the sewing machine, how to wind the bobbin, and please kindly film how to operate the sewing machine electric foot pedal, please. Thank you very much and Happy New Year. So I guess that's what we're going to do today. So if you're interested in taking a look at my Janome sewing machine, I'm going to show you a few things on it today. First of all, I've got my little cover that I made so that my machine doesn't get dusty. And this machine is a Janome Magnolia 7330. I got it years ago. I wanted something really simple, even though I take a look at all that and I go, that's not simple, but I don't use most of that. And if I did, I have my trusty instruction book to tell me how to do the various things on it. The bobbin, unless you want to know about that, you open that up by taking this little thing, moving it that way. So there's a little arrow that says point that way. So you pull it that way and it opens that up. And then there's the bobbin in there. And then to put it back in, just put it back in there and put it back down again. How you plug it in. There's the plug-in on the side. And there's the foot pedal. It goes in there. And the on-off switch. It's off right now. That turns it on. Pedal on the floor. When you turn the on switch on, it also automatically turns on the light that's under there so you can see what you're sewing. It also, I'll turn it off and on again, turns on this and pattern selection mode. And then the second one that has a waverly stitch thing, that is your stitch width adjustment load. And then the last one is the stitch length adjustment mode. I only ever use this foot because I am not a fancy sewer, but there's special feet for putting in zippers and putting in the different stitches. There's all these different stitches that you can use. And I primarily just use one and just go straight stitch. But there's all kinds of different things you can do. You can make buttonholes, you can do fancy embroidery. At least I think it's fancy. People that have fancier machines are gonna look at that and go, that's not fancy. Winding the bobbin. This is what she wanted to see how that was done. Removing the bobbin. I showed you how to remove it, lifting that little thing up from the side. So how you wind the bobbin is, on here it shows you the thread needs to go around that way. Take it around that little thing. And then you put it in there. Wind it around a few times. Put it there. And then you move it over. By putting it over like that, it makes it so that it, instead of making the needle go up and down, it makes this work. So I'm going to use the pedal and turn the pedal on. See how that's going around? And you can go around slow or fast depending how you pushed your pedal. And it just hums away and goes from there over onto your bobbin. And that's how you wind the bobbin. I keep pushing the pedal and keep filling it up until it just naturally stops. It usually naturally stops after all the thread has filled up the bobbin. As a bit faster, you can hear it has a different sound. and it kind of stopped on its own, so that means it's filled. So then I open it up, take it off, and cut it off. And there you have a wound bobbin. And then to thread the needle again, there's wonderful little arrows here. So I go around there, and then there's an arrow to go down. There's an underneath area. Come back up, and there's an arrow to tell you to go through there and go back down again. There's a little metal thing. Can you see that little metal thing? Little metal edge there that you go around. And then it's the threading of the needle. And this is the needle threader. You pull this lever down and you put the thread through there, and then you just gently let it go up. And then you just pull it out through the back. There it goes. So that little nifty needle threader makes it so you don't have to figure out what you're doing. It just threads it automatically. That is, I think, one of my favorite things about this machine is the automatic needle threader. The other question was how to use the foot pedal. The foot pedal is down there, and there's a narrow side and a fatter side. There's a narrow side and a fatter side, and you put it so your foot is on it like that, so that you can just kind of rest your foot and push down on the toe part. So depending on how hard you push it down, I should say, the farther down it goes, the faster your machine goes. I'll show you. Oh, we got a piece of cloth here, and put down the presser foot, the little foot there. And now I'm going to start slow, just pushing it just a little bit. Now I can push it faster, or down farther. And if I want it to go even faster, I can go faster, like that. So now I'm gonna press the foot slowly, and then so that is how the foot works. And that is how the seam looks. If I have it on 01, oh, another thing that this machine has that I really like, it has a automatic thread cutoff too. I'll show you that. So the thread cutoff, there's this little thing right there. It doesn't even look like all that much, but if I take the thread and do that, it cuts it right off. So I don't have to get the scissors every time. I just have to put it around that little end, and it cuts the thread. I'm sure there's even more exciting things that this machine does, but the person who asked me about it asked me for those specific things, and luckily those are the things that I know how to do. Any fancier stuff, you'll probably just need to read the instruction book, as I would need to do as well, to change it into, like, there's a buttonholer foot that you can put on to do buttonholes. I've never done that, but it tells you how to do all that. It tells you how to change the stitch length for various things. So if you're interested, no matter where you get your sewing machine, I'm sure there's a manual that comes along with that as well. And if not, just look online, because now a lot of manuals are online, probably even for older sewing machines. Hope this has been helpful. It's been fun for me to show off my little machine, even though I've probably had it about 10 years now. Anyway, this is my machine. If you've got a machine that you like, maybe you can put it in the comments so that the viewer that asked about sewing machines can find out some more information from you about your machine. And thanks for watching Barb Talks.